How would you feel if I told you that the life you have known was never real to begin with? The struggles, the failures, and the frustrations you went through are not what they seem to be. You have been functioning in a life that was constructed by a set of unwritten policies that you had no part in crafting. Policies that, for all intents and purposes, do not exist. The most surprising part is this: nothing is cast in stone. Anything can be altered, and the most astonishing part is that all along, you have possessed the ability to transform them. You simply didn't know where to search. But now, you will. No filler, no fluff. After going through this article, you will have the fundamental knowledge that will allow you to not only identify the boundaries of your construction reality, but to transgress beyond them. Soon, you will have the ability to step into the life you have always fantasized about. What leads to the differences in people's day-to-day achievements? To some, it might appear as a walk in the park. However, to others, no matter what they do, they have a glass ceiling that seems impossible to penetrate. Intelligence, talent, and even fortune do not seem to hinder or put barriers for anyone's success. The core difference between two people who appear to be the same but view life differently is their lack of understanding that reality is negotiable. Yes, reality is negotiable. That means the life you live, along with your limits, barriers, and even frustrations, are not absolute. The issue is more with the rules imposed upon you by society and the world you live in. But what if I were to tell you that breaking out of illusionary perception is far easier than it is perceived to be? No one mentioned it earlier, but the life set in front of you does not have to be your only option. There are unlimited options, but creating one begins from changing the lens you look through. Your reality is controlled by something more powerful than most can fathom. To clarify, this is not magic or even wishful thinking. What this is an exceptionally powerful and real phenomenon. This force is known as your beliefs. Your beliefs function as a filter through which you view the world. If you have an optimistic viewpoint, you will notice countless opportunities at your disposal. However, if you have a pessimistic viewpoint, your life will effortlessly turn into a reality where you only face barriers. This is called motivational talk, but it is neuroscience. Your reticular activating system, RAS, is a filter for your attention, a filter for what you believe is relevant. Did you ever suddenly learn a new word and began noticing it everywhere? That is proof for your RAS at work. Notice the sudden appearance of the word, which was your brain finding ways to make something relevant for you. Consider this idea on a larger scale. If one word can turn your attention to it, think about how much of reality is created by things you choose to pay attention to. The majority of the population tend to forget that the reality they are living is not completely theirs. It has been implanted into them through factors such as societies, cultures, and childhood experiences. As a child, you were taught to look at limitations, to center your attention towards your struggles, and to disregard potential. There was a line drawn on possibilities versus impossibilities along with realism and dreams, and you were expected to comfortably stay in the box drawn for you. Here's the good news. With the right guidance, all that programming can be changed. Consider how much of your life is influenced by beliefs that were never yours in the first place. How about, you need to work hard to succeed, money doesn't grow on trees, or you're not smart enough for that? Noticing any resemblance? These statements claim to be truthful, but they are simply beliefs that have been passed down to us. Once you accept them without question, they become your truth. But here's the twist, and it's a big one. Truth is not absolute. It is malleable. It shifts and takes form based on your beliefs. This is the reason why some individuals flourish from rags to riches while others remain stagnant in poverty. It also explains why some people are able to start a business without any prior knowledge or experience and thrive while others with years of experience fail. The difference here cannot be attributed to skill set, but rather to what people believe is achievable. Let's use a practical example that illustrates the point. Ford pioneered automobiles in the first decades of the 20th century, which greatly improved his business. But here's what a lot of people don't know. He did it according to one central belief. Most other car makers tried producing exorbitantly priced luxury cars, and Ford instead said, "How about we make cars for people?" That single belief turned the whole industry upside down. And as a result, everyone could afford a car. Consider your life for a moment. What guidelines are you living by that put a cap on your potential? What if those so-called rules are nothing but fragments of your imagination? What if they are simply old beliefs you have never had the courage to question? Achieving any kind of perspective reality comes down to one strong question. What do I believe that is not serving me? Let's get down to business. Grab a notebook and write down the most important challenge you are currently facing in life. Next, ask yourself, what belief is keeping this problem alive? If your problem is I can't make more money, your belief could be, I would never succeed. If your problem is I am in a toxic relationship, your belief may be, I don't deserve anything better. And here's the game changer. Question that belief. Is it true, or is it just a story you continue to tell yourself? A lot of the time, you will come to the conclusion that it is just a narrative and stories can be rewritten. The limits you have imposed on yourself are not impossible. They are written in sand. As soon as you chose to question them, they begin to vanish. The existence you have been offered does not have to be accepted from the onset. Instead, a new one can be crafted effortlessly. But everything begins with altering the set of guidelines that exist in your mind. Consider for a moment, what if the structure of everything you know is actually a game? A game where rules and obstacles can be converted into terms that are far more agreeable. Would it not make logical sense that most people would never know because they have Richelieu-style followed an agenda? This is incredible. You are not just a participant, you are the author. You have been told to tower to the law, but what if adjusting was so simple? What is your control over the possible things for yourself instead of letting society, relatives, and past situations outline it for you? We can delve a little deeper. Every aspect of the sci-fi world intrigues me the most, but this is something astonishing to note with what surrounds us. Everything you see, the chair you're sitting on, the walls around you, even the problems you think are weighing you down, is merged and comes up down as atoms which make everything, and let's not forget with AIDS massively. And are those atoms? I'm glad you've asked, for they are 99.99% of free space. That's correct. The things we call solid are mostly non-existence. What determines solidity when an object in question is on its own? Your perception, your belief that they are solid. Now, do consider what that represents for yourself. If your perception can transform empty space into real substance, what else are you creating unknowingly? More importantly, what else could be created if a new way of seeing the game was taken up? It isn't luck, fate, or any other external factor that greatly influences how you live your life. It is rather profound and has one word: your focus. Your mind operates like a flashlight. The direction you point it towards is what you shall notice. As an example, if you concentrate on issues, then you will consider more problems. However, if you shift your concentration to possibilities, you will start noticing them everywhere. The catch is that the majority of people are focusing their spotlight on the wrong things without awareness. What is more baffling is that people have been conditioned to focus on scarcity, fear, and limitations. Try to consider how many times have you told yourself, "That's too expensive for me," or "I can't do it. I don't have the skill." Those aren't simply words thrown around. They end up being your truth. Why? Because your neural system automatically starts looking for facts to support their validity. But here is the secret no one tells you. Shifting your focus is always within your reach. When you do, the way your brain perceives reality completely shifts. Instead of searching for boundaries, you begin discovering opportunities. This is more than just a theory. It is neuroscience. Your reality does not dictate who you are. It represents who you, in your innermost beliefs, think you are. Imagine looking at a mirror. A mirror does nothing but reflect. Therefore, if the image is unflattering, the actual object in question is to blame and not the mirror. Your life, similarly, functions the same way. Instead of searching for the reason outside, such as finances or relationships, the problem boils down to self. The shining light of hope comes next, however. There is no denying that just as the reflection of a new outfit is new, changing clothes will give the opportunity to witness the new you. This is what happens when you change your internal beliefs. The world quite literally transforms. Let's get started right away. The task I am about to give you is straightforward, yet it is impactful. It will help you rewire your focus and change reality as you perceive it. To begin, perform a reality audit. This is an exercise in which you take 5 minutes to write down 3 aspects of your life that bring you dissatisfaction at the moment. In addition, frame each dissatisfaction in the form of a thought. For instance, money, I never have enough. Relationships, nobody understands me. Career, I am not qualified for better opportunities. Now, for the part that will change everything, reverse each statement. For every limiting thought, write down the complete opposite. I never have enough. I am always finding new ways to attract abundance. Nobody understands me. I attract relationships that support and uplift me. It is important to repeat these statements every morning for the next week. The reason this works is simple. Your brain functions like a machine, especially when it comes to looking for patterns. The sooner you supply it with patterns, the more helpful it becomes to support new ones. This goes beyond mere daydreaming. There is scientific backing behind this. The second you adjust your focus, you are bound to alter your reality. The potential after this shift is unimaginable. Without a doubt, everyone has been conditioned and few understand it. Family, society, education, all of them taught you about what is realistic, what is possible, and what you should expect from life. These constructs, these beliefs, passed down through generations are nothing but stories. And the most dangerous thing about these modern beliefs that people form is that when accepted without thoroughly questioning, they transform into the reality. Imagine this. Think of the number of times you have come across statements such, "You need to work extremely hard to make it," "You can't have money trees," or "Can you have whatever you wish for?" These statements are not factual. Endless loops of repetition turns them into a set way of reasoning. But here is another path-shifting realization. Even though you were set to have a limiting mindset, you have the ability to create limitless opportunities. Create your own mindset, rules, and live life to the fullest. Let's study this in action. Consider 2 individuals who possess an identical set of skills, knowledge, and access to opportunities. One of them excels, while the other cannot cope. The difference is not in capability, but rather a mindset issue. The individual who is successful believes that opportunities abound, anything can be learned, and failure is merely feedback. On the other hand, the individual struggling believes that success is hard, I do not have enough good luck, and I do not have the necessary factors. The most interesting part is that both of them will be correct. This is because the mind works in a way that proves your beliefs correct. Henry Ford, the pioneer in automobile production, knew this very well. Other automobile producers thought that vehicles were meant only for the rich, but Ford posed a different question. And if we tried making cars within the reach of the common man? That one change in thinking transformed everything. He never complied with the industry norms, and it aided him in changing narrative of history. Now, look within yourself. Which decision is paralyzing you? And what if said decision is merely a figment of your imagination? What if, from this moment onward, you have the power to change the narrative? To get started, grab a pen and paper and jot down anything that is weighing you down at the moment. In most cases, they could range from "I can't earn as much money," without a doubt, "I am not fit enough to build my own brand," or "It is I who grasps the unhealthy relationships." Now, reflect on what assumptions are allowing these problems to persist. If you believe that there is little chance of finding true love, could it possibly be that you do not feel worthy of it? The same could apply to the question of earning more money as well. These are merely catchy phrases, and when you start asking questions, these sensations have the potential to lose grip over you. Now comes the change. Once you know the belief that's pulling you back, it's time to confront it. Questions like, "Is this real?" can help deconstruct your presumption. In the end, it would most likely be just an assumption you have built over the years. Erase the most crucial part. Change the belief. If your current belief is, "I'll never be successful," change it to, "I am learning and growing every day, and success is inevitable." Instead of saying, "I'm just unlucky in love," say, "I attract profound, fulfilling connections without even trying." At first, this might sound odd. You have been conditioned to the old story and welcomed the new one. However, the trick is what you have already guessed: repetition. Each time you find yourself slipping towards the old predetermined beliefs, repeat the new ones instead. Vocalize. Write. Put life to it through your actions. As everything comes together, the results are clear. Shift your beliefs into whatever you wish to place in, and the reality that surrounds you commences working towards your desire. This is where the magic happens. This process is boundless and offers you the potential to be powerful in any aspect of your life. Everything in life starts with believing, be it success, money, or even health. The more one practices rewriting the internal rules, it makes one realize something unbelievable. There are no rules. Life presents opportunities in abundance, but only if one decides to seize them. The firm belief one can choose to break free is one incredible realization of life. Now that you understand the impact of belief and how it affects you, realism is going to take things a step further. Let's say there had to be an alternate universe where you were able to compare reality with success, leisure, and wealth. How would it feel? Feel free to breathe a sigh of relief, because the good news is, you don't have to wait long for this alternate universe. Everything exists in parallel to your life. During your day-to-day activities, this alternate universe can be turned into a reality, but the only thing stopping one from achieving that goal is the reality one decides to live in. You could consider your brain to be similar to a radio station. If you are currently concentrating on a channel regarding restriction, self-criticism, or anxiety, that is precisely what you will go through. However, if you alter the frequency to one that deals with success, confidence, and abundance, you will begin to attract those aspects into your life. This goes beyond spiritual and forms into a scientific realm. The very emotions that you feel send out a vibration that attracts like experiences. This is known as the law of attraction. Now here's the part people never discuss. How can one actually shift the energy? What moves one from feeling frustrated to motivated enough to attract miracles? The first step focuses on determining your obstacles. Many people do not understand that they are stuck in a low energetic state of guilt, fear, anger, or shame. These emotions act as an anchor, preventing your movement. The wildest part is that most people have no idea that they are carrying such emotions. Take a breather, and let's do an activity. Ask yourself, what are you still gripping that is not useful? Perhaps it is a fear of failing. It can very well encapsulate a grudge against someone who did you harm. Or it could simply be the notion that you are unworthy of success. Understand this. In your current state, you'll find it impossible to shift the energy with those burdens. You have to let go of them first, and I will guide you through that process. The first step is to determine your emotional bricks, the weighty feelings that are bringing you down. Grab a pen and paper and write down one thing that you are gripping onto and feels heavy. Now, ponder upon this question. How is this benefiting me? Think hard for a moment. In most cases, it's to realize that it's not beneficial in any way. It is just a narrative that you have been telling yourself. You can start by setting the brick down, closing your eyes, and taking a nice deep breath. Visualize yourself holding the brick and try to feel its weight and see its texture. Now picture yourself dropping it, and with it, feel the sense of relief as the weight feels much lighter. I want you to say out loud, I release this and it has no power over me. Try doing this for a week, and I can guarantee you will feel a shift in energy. After breaking the old energy, you need to fill the space with light. Imagine warm and bright energy filling the space where the brick used to sit. This light symbolizes new power energy like confidence, clarity, and abundance. Never stop the flow of this energy because the light is in constant motion. As we know, emotions are simply energy. If there is resistance, energy will get stuck. But if allowed to flow freely, it will ease through. If something makes you feel fear, sadness, or doubt, release those feelings instead of suppressing them. For example, stop what you are doing, close your eyes, and take 3 deep breaths. After that, ask yourself what that emotion might be trying to communicate to you. Instead of holding on to that lesson, say, I thank you for this lesson. I release you now. This practice prevents negative energy from being trapped within your system. Remember, negative energy can be incredibly difficult to remove, but practicing self-talk will help. By changing your thinking, it is also essential to express all of that bit of gratitude, because gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states you can be. While awaiting the life you desire, make sure to start every day by writing 3 grateful points for the day and let gratitude always flood your heart. This technique transforms your energy day after day, helping you become ready and creating a fun attitude towards things that take place. Something equally practical is visualization. For 5 minutes a day, picture your ideal life as if it were happening at present. Use all your senses when visualizing. Furthermore, the more strong-headed your imagination is, the more detailed energetic signal you send to the universe. The brain cannot tell apart an actual situation from an imagined one. Therefore, when you visualize with passion, you're actually hiking your subconscious programming to embrace this identity of yourself. Another approach is movement. Energy moves where motion goes. Stretch, dance, walk. Make sure to engage in physical activity every day. Instantaneous raising of your vibration in a simple way is ideal movement. Change does not start and stop with us, but it includes everything. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, the thoughts you entertain, all of it affects your energy. Shift your context to people and things which elevate and inspire you. Keep this in mind. You are not a victim to your circumstances. What you want is to create reality. You draw to yourself what you put out. The very second you change your vibration is the very second your life starts to change. You are already malfunctioning right now. You can feel it? That is the strength inside of you, daring to awaken. You're still not finished yet. We still have a long way to go, and we will be diving even deeper into the transformation. We are here now to talk about using principles not just to change energy, but completely alter the order of your reality. Now, brace yourself because this is the part that is genuinely eye-opening.